All right, guys, here we are helping one of our neighbors process some chickens. Little man and I loaded up the trailer last night and we dropped it off over at their place to start helping them process the chickens this morning. It's 7 a.m. in the morning right now, is when it is. It's 7 a.m. in the morning. And our neighbor, he's setting up the harvesting cones right now. And now we're all setting up the 13 by 13 canvas. It's not a tent, it's like an awning. Like, we're setting up the awning right now so we can have some shade while we're processing. So that's little man, our neighbor, and I setting up the, what is it, the scalder, setting up the scalder right there. And we're getting the hoses out right here. So we ran off 2 hoses on this processing batch, and that was pretty easy, running off 2 hoses. We put a manifold on the hose there at the end, and then we hooked up this green hose and that red hose. So you need 1 hose for the plucker, and you need another hose for the processing table. So those 2 buckets on the ground there, those 2 containers on the ground, we set the table up on those 2 containers. I got that idea from Stony Ridge Farms. Josh with Stony Ridge Farms. I saw that on one of his videos, and I thought it was a great idea. Really saves the back, putting the table up tall like that. So pay attention to your water flow, because water is going to be just coming out of the plucker. So you want to make sure your plucker's water flow isn't running into your processing area. So that's what we moved the table for right there. And I'm just running the hose up through the awning to hold the hose to make it easier to keep the plucker hose off the ground. And right there we're setting up the processing table. So just getting the hose all set up for that processing table. Our neighbor put the bags inside the buckets from the harvesting cone. I highly recommend putting those bags inside the buckets to catch all the blood that comes out when you harvest the roosters. We're getting the power for the plucker right now, setting that up, and I was just working on the knives over on the processing table. So now we're working on the water, getting the water all turned on, making sure each hose is fully initiated. What is that called? Each hose is fully turned on. Another tip. Buy a packet of those hose tip washers. You never know when you're going to need them. You can buy a packet of them. I'll put a link down in the description below. You can buy a packet for like $7, and you get like 20 hose implement washers. You need those because you never know when you're going to need them, and we definitely needed them. So we took a picture of everything right there. We're praying real quick about being successful in our harvesting, and now we've started processing the birds. So I believe we've got 1 bird bleeding out right there. Yep, now we're scalding it. So we scald at 140 to 150 degrees for 30 seconds, and then we check to make sure we can pull a toe off. Once you pull a toe off, you put it in the plucker. The plucker does its magic. Make sure to run the water full blast when the plucker is going, and run it all around the edges. Make sure to run it all around the edges because you need those feathers to get out of the plucker. And then right there, we're just processing the bird. I don't have any close-ups of that. I've got another video where I did some close-ups on the processing. But yeah, you just you cut underneath the neck muscles, and then you pull out the esophagus from the top of it, and then we did the underneath. So let me go ahead and pause the video real quick right here. All right, that was the first hour. So that was an hour for setup and processing the first bird time lapse, and now we're going into, I think we've already processed probably 8 birds by now. So we harvest the birds, we scald the birds, we pluck the birds, and then we process the birds on the processing table. So there's my neighbor and my boy. They're processing it. We put the organs and the legs and the wingtips in 1 bucket, and then the entrails we put in another bucket. So the entrails will be discarded, but the legs, the organs, and the wingtips, those can be used as dog treats, cat treats, etc., etc. And our neighbor has dogs and cats, so rinsing out the bird right there. Just keep it clean. You can never use too much water. Just go to town with the water when you're rinsing out the bird. You can rinse out the bird after you finish doing the esophagus and the thing that they put all their rocks in. You could do that, and then also you definitely rinse out the back of the bird once you process the organs and the entrails. Am I saying that right? Is it called entrails, the digestive tract? Put a comment down below, or put a comment down below if I'm calling that wrong. If you're enjoying this video, if this video is helpful for you when it comes to processing your own birds, getting an idea of a good setup, please put a chicken down in the comment too. Put a chicken down in the comments. Oh, and right there, you can see I've got the ice chest stacked in front of the scalder. The wind picked up. So we had to stack the ice chests in front of the scalder. And my neighbor, he's got some real good ice chest sizes. Definitely don't get the small ice chest sizes. Get the medium ice chest sizes. We easily fit 2 bags of ice, 10 birds, and topped them off with water inside his ice chest. So definitely get the medium-sized ice chest when you're doing this. And don't go cheap on your ice chest. Go medium of the road on your ice chest. If you've got one of those really expensive ice chests, by all means, good on you. But don't go cheap on the ice chest. At least get the medium of the road ice chest. It's easier to drain. It's more sturdy, and I feel like it has a lot more insulation also. So yeah, this is the harvesting cones, our setup. This is how we've got it all put together, and we processed 13 birds from 7 a.m. in the morning to I believe like 11 o'clock, and that's with setup and breakdown. So 3 cognitive human beings working together as a team, following this assembly line. You can easily get your birds processed real good. When you put the birds in the harvesting cone, talk to them nicely, grab them by the chest and grab them by the legs, and just talk to them nicely and gently put them in the processing cone, and they'll naturally just put their heads down at the bottom. And then you reach behind its jaw and just pull down gently. You don't have to be mean, just pull down gently, and then take the knife and wiggle the knife between the feathers, and then you'll feel when you get to the bird's neck, and then you're able to just go ahead and remove that bird's head at that time. And we gave it a 2-minute time in the cone. Once we processed them, we left them there for about 2 minutes to completely drain out before we put them in the scalder. And like I said, the scalder, it's 140 to 150 degrees, 30 seconds, pull a foot out, make sure you can pull one of the toes off the foot, and then put it in the plucker. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with any of your friends. Feel free to put in your questions in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. See you guys on the next video.